Time's up, I done touchdown. I'm high stepping for the touchdown. I stay repping for the slums where the young bucks started loaded up just to bust rounds.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the AFC South Fan Battle Podcast. My name is Samantha Wernet. I am your host for this evening. At the time of this recording, it is Halloween night, so happy Halloween, and we are recording during the World Series, so go Braves. Right, Matt?
No.
Okay, sorry. Matt is an Astros man. Speaking of that, Matt is also our Texans commentator.
Oh, sorry.
That is very true. Matt is our Texans commentator for this evening. Matt Briggs.
I'm here, guys. That's it.
That's it.
There wasn't an Arizona game today for you?
No, we lost Thursday too. I was a bad week.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, that was a crazy game. I want to get into that during NFL news. Representing the Jaguars this evening, back after 8 weeks, Mr.
By
Todd
popular
Clary.
demand. Not really, though. All 7 of my Twitter followers demanded that I be here.
And Hurries.
Yep.
And Harish, specific.
Yep, it's true.
You are his favorite commentator. And he's a Colts fan, so that's even better.
Boom.
Better. Representing the Titans, the only happy person on the podcast this evening, Ray Cherry.
What up, guys? Number one in the hood, baby.
And representing the Colts, we have Josh Sr.
What's good, guys? I'll be happy, well, along with Sam, if the Braves win.
Amen. Well, guys, listen, I don't have a whole lot to talk about tonight. I know I'm the non-biased host, but I will start this off that, as most of you know already, I'm a Jaguars fan. And I make a ongoing bet with a friend of ours who's a Seahawks fan. When we play them, we get Christmas trees in each other's houses. So I have to have an action green Christmas tree in my house because I was very confident that we could beat Geno Smith.
Christmas tree.
Yeah. And so I'm very sad this evening. Very sad.
You could have ended that sentence after the word confident, and it still would have been your first mistake. But
listen, it's an ongoing bet. I don't make a lot of bets anymore because I don't want my profile picture to be everybody else's team all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like mine's?
Like Josh Senior's, yes, because we love profile pick bets here on AFC South Fan Battle Podcast. But that's an ongoing one, and it only happens every few years. So, yeah, sad. But we got to go trick-or-treating tonight with the kids, and I was Trevor Lawrence, and that didn't end up well either for me. Todd had some commentary about that in pre-production. What was it that you said, Todd?
Oh, I said you must have missed half the houses, and that one of them you gave them candy.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to jump into the teams in a minute. NFL news, there's not too much to report on. But I did want to mention that Cardinals-Packers game the other night. Did any of you see the play where Aaron Rodgers went down and they had him buy his jersey?
It became a meme.
Did it become a meme?
Yeah.
I think that was a different play. The one where he was getting horse collared, where he turned around and
yes.
appealed to the ref. That wasn't the play where he ended up looking like Minshew.
Right.
Yeah. He literally turned around and he was like he threw his hands out like, hello, as he was getting pulled down by his shirt and nothing came of it. So the rumors are floating around, and a bunch of content creators are saying that sports betting is in the NFL, and that's where a lot of this stupid crap is coming from. What do you guys think about that? What's your commentary on that?
I mean, maybe, yeah. I mean, there's not.
They literally have commercials on during the game for Caesar's Palace to bet on sports. But people have been betting on sports for a really long time. You'd have to say that literally that play altered the game in such a way that it altered the score or the outcome. More people would probably be prone to say that AJ Green retired from the NFL in the middle of his route. That would be more like he threw it. That's more of a shoeless Joe Jackson moment. But Aaron Rodgers on that play has a valid gripe. It's not technically a horse collar because he didn't grab him by the pads, but you saw Jameis Winston get hurt the same way in the same kind of tackle in today's game. Just because you grab a jersey, which these guys wear so tight, and they literally like spray glue their jerseys to it sometimes. If you pull a guy down by the jersey from behind, it's the same motion and it causes the same problems as a horse collar tackle. And that's what Rodgers is turning around to say, like, hey, you see this motherfucker, what are you doing? And they didn't call it because it's not in the rules. You have to get them by the actual whatever. It's semantics.
And plus, he's that type of quarterback too, like Tom Brady, where usually when he wants something called, he gets it called. So I can see him be a little upset, especially like Todd said, he can get seriously hurt by it. So
yeah,
there were two plays in the Jags game today. There were two roughing the passers that weren't, in my opinion, not roughing the passer, but they're literally following the Rodgers rule, the rule that they made after Rodgers broke his second collarbone, where like if you're taking down a quarterback, you can't fall on top of him. Right. Two of those got called against our guys today.
You got to lay on the bed of pillows, and
for following him through the ground, which is such a ticky tack thing. It's almost like when Brady gets a little whiff of taint when a hand goes by. It's a personal foul. Like it's just one of those pendulum things in the NFL. It's just going to keep.
And I hate that. But yeah, speaking of that, Jameis Winston was carted off the field during the game. I don't know. I haven't checked to see what they're saying it was because I was out trick or treating with the kids. A comment coming in says they think. Says, I wonder if Winston tore his ACL. I saw him on crutches and had a leg brace after the game.
Yeah, they said it was an ACL, and they asked the coach, and he said it was significant. So,
oh no.
Yeah, you saw the inside of his knee stretch. That's usually either an ACL or a PCL.
Yeah.
Any other NFL news you guys can think of?
Tyrann Mathieu pretty much getting hated off the Chiefs for calling his fan base toxic, the most toxic fan base in the NFL.
Yeah. Self-fulfilling prophecy.
I mean, our
fans are toxic. No, we're not. Get off our team.
Well,
that is true.
That fan base wants Patrick Mahomes traded. That's your answer right there. Yeah, they're the most toxic fan base there is when you want a MVP caliber quarterback traded after one bad year.
Bunch of fucking spoiled bitches.
Right.
But their barbecue's good.
Yeah.
I got that.
If you say so.
He lives there.
Andy Reid's still.
Oh yeah, he's still
getting tuna melts fucking door dashed in the middle of the game. So as long as they got him, they got a chance, I suppose.
Well, guys, jumping into it this week, we had a division game between the Colts and the Titans. So we'll get to that last. But I know that Todd's always antsy and has a lot to say. So we'll get to him second. You thought I was going to come to you now.
I was worried because I'm not prepared.
All right. We're going to start with you, Matt. Texans.
Okay.
Texans, Rams.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I was kind of surprised that wasn't that you. How many points was it in the fourth quarter? 22?
Yeah. It was.
They just gave up by then?
It was 38-0 going in the fourth quarter. Deshaun Watson was licking his chops like, man, maybe I should play this game. I could get a shitload of stats going on. It was terrible. Like I said, fourth quarter, 38-0. I was like, yeah, this is another Bills blowout. We fucking suck. I know what Todd feels like being a Jags fan. Like it was
At least
terrible.
we have an excuse, but go ahead.
We do too. Our star quarterback doesn't want to play. He likes getting fingered in the butthole. I mean, so.
No lies detected.
Right. Play calls was terrible. Offensive line is.
So hold on. Can I say something about that real quick? Can we comment that? I feel like last year,
about butthole blasting. I'm game.
Speaking of butthole blasting, I have a comment about that. No, last year I feel like every episode we talked about Antonio Brown, and I feel like this season, every episode we talk about Deshaun Watson, but at least he's relevant to our division and our podcast. That being said, isn't the trade deadline this week?
November 2nd. So Tuesday, yeah. It's this week.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, that trade's already been booked. They're just waiting on the commissioner to say whether he's going to be suspended or not, right? I mean, it's already been finalized.
It's accepted, but without the Dolphins can back out if the commissioner does not tell him he's going to be suspended or not.
But they get four first round picks, correct?
No, 3. And then at the day of their draft, they can get the 4th. So, yeah. 3 first rounds and I think a defensive player. Because before that, you can only get 2 years.
Weren't they asking permission to? Oh, they were asking permission for the 3rd.
Yeah.
Is what it was. Got it. Okay.
Leave it to the Texans to find the only other team in the league willing to make worse trades than the Texans.
Well, we had quite a few people. The Eagles were going to give up all 3 first round picks this year, and then 3 next year, or 2 the next.
Hey, you put 32 people in a room. 3 of them are going to be fucking idiots.
Oh yeah, I agree. I'm glad I'm agree with you. I'm glad we're not getting fleeced no more. So I mean, that's it's always grass is greener on the other side sometimes.
Here we go back to the Texans game today. Speaking about sports betting. Well, the spread was 16.5 points.
I don't know why you took it.
They lost by 16 points. Rams were up 38 to zip.
And then all of a sudden they came back for 22.
And they scored 22 points. And you telling me there's nothing fugazi about that? I'm just saying.
Right. It's almost
Jerry,
like
breaking out
it's almost obvious.
What's going on over here?
It's like almost
hat and everything going on.
It's like it's almost obvious at this point. You know what I mean? Like obvious and like doesn't make it fun in a way.
I mean, I can see that, but I wouldn't say it was on this Texans and Rams game because it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't that big of a game, so I don't see people winning that big much of money off of it. But
a lot of people bet. I know quite a few people bet. They were pissed. They were pissed. I was out watching the game, and there were some people pissed about Texas.
We can't bet up here in Kansas City.
That's the problem.
They scored 22 points in the 4th quarter. What the hell?
That's the point. Is like I feel like everybody needs to start calling it out on Twitter and shit, and just be like,
well, I mean,
how obvious can it be at this point? Come on.
Go ahead, Todd.
Let me interject.
Go ahead.
Super sus, right? The spread's 16-5. They're down 38. Halftime bets are coming in. They rattle off 22. But the idea that you can fix football is so... Like, imagine the variables that have to go in for them to score 22 and not 24 or 21. Like, in a game where it's not like basketball where you can shave 2 every once in a while. It's like, no, we need a field goal here and then another field goal and not a touchdown here and like
a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, but I feel like if everybody's like on board for that.
Define everybody. Everybody in both
but I don't think
the entire
but I'm not saying
team.
that it always works out. Like I feel like that Packers game was one where it was trying to go for the side of sports betting and it didn't and actually went in the Packers' favor.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
But you got to understand that like rigged sports betting doesn't ever not go that way.
Right.
Rigged sports betting always goes that way. Like it's not, oops, we failed to undercut. They failed to meet the spread. Now all these bookies got to pay out money. That's not the way that rigging works. You don't rig in a random game. You rig in games that are going to be close. 16.5 point spread is such a huge margin. Now, if the spread's 5 and we can nudge a point here or there, but you're talking about 16 points. Yes. how many times in the history of watching football, before you had this in your head that sports betting was involved, have you seen teams score 24 in garbage time? It's fucking garbage time.
Rams have done it his whole career.
It's the Texans, though. If this was like a decent team,
we did it last year.
22 points.
Listen, all I can say,
22
I'm going to say this.
In one quarter?
Yeah.
Points?
I'm going to say this, and then we'll move on from this. I'm just glad that me and Cherry are following the same conspiracy at this point.
What was the spread in the Tennessee Indianapolis game?
I think 1.5. I think
1.5. Oh wow! And that game went to overtime, didn't it? And it was decided by a field goal. I'd be more pressed to think that Carson Wentz threw an interception on purpose to lose that game than I would be to believe that everybody conspired for the Texans to score 22. Exactly 22. Not 23, not 21. Not in a normal multiple of points that are scored. You're talking about how did they score those 22 points? They almost scored 24 and then they missed a 2-point conversion. I don't know. I don't watch teams that suck each other off. So like you're gonna have to tell me how they scored that 22. Was it 3 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion? Was it a touchdown and 5 field goals? Like that. I mean, I'm just doing quick math in my head because I'm awesome.
What was it, Matt?
It was 3 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion.
Okay, so they needed 3. So that 2-point conversion fails. There goes your shit, right? There goes the conspiracy to screw the guys that bet the spread if they don't make that 2-point conversion, or if they don't make any of those. You're talking about a drop pass. A drop pass can ruin that. Like, to me, that's not. If I'm going to manipulate a sport, I'm not going to do it with that big a margin. And you're talking about.
I think this.
I'm going to ask you this: How many games has the Texans scored 22 points in the whole game this season?
This season? I mean, I don't know. How many teams have gotten down 38
and they scored 22 points in the fourth quarter?
Okay, but how many teams have gotten down 38-0 going in the fourth quarter? And the Rams are already celebrating. I know Ramsey's not fucking paying attention at that point. So the next thing you know, we're playing prevent. We're letting them score. They've got to score 38 in the final quarter. The biggest comeback in NFL history, which you should know as a Titans fan who probably claims the Oilers, was the Bills beating the Oilers down 35-3. They scored 35 unanswered points in the fourth quarter with Frank Reich throwing the football, and that's the greatest comeback in NFL history. It's happened. You're talking about, but it's an aberration. And what I'm saying is that if I can put on the cap of a cheater, which Matt obviously already would have on if he was wearing a hat. But the point is,
Yankees fans, come on.
Buying players isn't cheating. Fuck off. There's no fucking salary cap. It's not my problem. But the point is that the amount of effort and variables and people you have to have involved in that to make that a reality is so far afield. It's literally more.
Well,
it's literally more higher percentage chance that the Texans score 22 in the fourth quarter of every game this year than it is for enough people to get together to.
It's the Texans, dude. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, whatever, dude.
I'm gonna end it on this, and then we're gonna let Matt. We pretty much recap the game. That way. Yeah. But I'm gonna end the sports betting with this. One of the comments came in and said, "You're talking about the biggest, most profitable hold on. You're talking about the biggest, most profitable industry there is." And we'll leave it at that. And you can believe what you can believe. But Matt.
Before I move on to the sadness we call the Texans, that jab that you told me earlier, Terry, about how many games they scored 4 out of 7. They scored more than 22 points. So, not try to Terry.
Look at his face.
Yeah, not try. But yeah, we sucked balls. We did a Washington type game. Got all of our stats in the fourth quarter. And like Todd said, they were sitting there playing prevent, letting people catch 20-yard bombs, and we suck.
There's a point that could be made that the Rams, that someone on the coaching staff of the Rams decided they were going to call certain plays to allow. I did
hear they did hire Pete Rose as a ball
Right.
Ball boy. So
but Pete Rose never cheated. He just bet on his own team.
Right.
That's not cheating. You leave.
Well, if he's on the Rams,
you leave that beautiful, wonderful man out of this conversation.
I agree. I'm a Pete Rose diehard fan. I agree with you. Hall of Fame easily. So
Jesus.
But yeah, we suck.
Speaking of teams that suck.
Yeah, Astros are losing.
Josh Harris.
Oh, okay.
No, sir.
Speaking of teams that suck, we
I
forgot.
love your segue, Sam. Love it.
We forgot one part of NFL news. Calvin Ridley announced that he's leaving, taking a mental break. So that would be the Falcons. They suck. But moving on to the young team, who just is having a bump in the road. Maybe they don't suck. They're just, having a rough go of it. Maybe. Just things are tough. They're just young and trying to figure it out. Todd Clary. Let's talk about the Jaguars.
The level of denial that you are espousing on this hallowed program.
It makes me feel better.
Is shameful.
It makes me feel better.
And you should be ashamed of yourself. What do you want to know?
All of it.
Hey,
what happens from here? Let's start. Listen, hold on. Can I start with one?
Excuse me. I believe you said my name.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Let's go around the horn and let's everybody pick their favorite fourth down that we failed to convert. Was it 4th and 6 with 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter? Was it 4th and 3 when it didn't matter? Was it like 4th and 10? Was it the fourth and goal from the 1 against Cincinnati? Was it the 4th down in London that almost cost us the game? Which one was your favorite? We'll start with Sam since her hand is up.
I'm going to group it all together. I'm going to go with the fact that we were on the wrong side of the 50 and didn't go on 4th and 2, but then decided to try to convert all the other fourth downs to the remainder of the Seattle game.
Sure.
Okay. That's it.
That was
4th and 5 and 4th and 6. And
that was Urban Meyer literally trying to get fired. You'd think he had grandkids in Seattle that he wanted to stay behind and see because
I just love
Lord have mercy. How the fuck do you make those calls consistently every single goddamn game where you're like, hey, 4th and 3, it's Madden, bro. Fuck it.
I just loved
Logan Cook is on your roster.
As the game went on, he starts like this and then his arms get tighter and tighter crossed as if that's making a difference.
Yeah. If you've ever seen a real NFL coach, when stuff like that happens, they're talking into their microphone, especially coaches that are a CEO that have 35 coaches under them. There's a coach for everything. There's the there's the bench coach, and then there's this coordinator, the coordinator of coach, the coach coordinators. There's 35 million coaches, and this motherfucker is never talking to any of them.
Well,
and then when shit happens, he's like, I don't know why we called that play. Well, you should know why they call that play. And when you're down 17-0 and they're kicking it off to you, you should be telling your kick returner, who is probably the hardest working guy on your team, not to try to win the fucking game by taking it from 6 yards in the fucking end zone out to try and fucking score 35 on one play. You got to coach these young kids. You got to coach the guys with no talent. When you have guys that don't have talent, you have to fucking coach them.
Andrew Wingard.
Urban Meyer's not used to that. Andrew Wingard, Trey Herndon, fucking Chris Claybrook, fucking Jenkins, who, holy shit, you're down 14-0 and they called you for taunting. Get the fuck into the locker room and do not return. Who the fuck do you think you are? Who are you? When you're down 17-0 and you get a sack, you know what? You fucking get up and you go back in the huddle and you call the next fucking play. I'm sick and tired of fucking celebrating, but we're getting off focus. The focus is on the lack of coaching in Jacksonville and the fact that a team like this needs a coach, not a CEO, not a guy who wanders around the sideline like this looking depressed. Not a guy finger banging girls in the fucking bar after your team flies home. Not a guy who, Urban Meyer's not used to not having talent. He's not used to not coaching talent. He's used to
who Urban Meyer
and handing it off to somebody to coach them. That is
You know
what he's
who-
used to doing.
You know who Urban Meyer was finger banging today?
The whole fan base.
No, because that would be pleasurable, and it
I
wasn't.
mean, it's arguable. I mean, I'm gonna have to
You got the
agree with
right,
you,
right
Sam.
parts to be
I was waiting for that one.
banging.
Oh, that
I mean, it
makes
felt
sense.
like he was finger banging my dick hole. If that makes you feel any better, which I know is a
No,
thing on
did
the
you
internet.
see him talking about Pete Carroll and basically like, oh yeah, respect him. That's basically why we have all these guys. Like, I don't know. It's just,
Oh, do you mean Urban said something stupid? I'm not shocked. I mean, that's what happens when you get out coached, which is what happens to him every week. Every week he gets out coached.
So are
Every
you guys-
single week it is consistent. He gets out coached.
well, there was that play that the Seahawks made where Geno Smith handed it off. It was a flea flicker, and that was a jab at
Sure.
Urban Meyer
Okay.
Can I
because it
ask
was
a
one
question?
that produced.
Hold on. Can I ask a question? So look,
We
Are
just
you-
did.
are you guys confident in Urban Meyer? I know it's his first year. Are you guys already ready for that fucker to go? Or you're like, it's his first year in the NFL. Let's give him another year or two. See
How
what
long did Nick
happens.
Saban get? How long did one of the greatest college coaches in the history of the game, second only to Bear Bryant and probably a couple other guys, how long did Nick Saban get? Did he get a whole season? I'll have to, I mean, like, I need like a fact checker to pull that up.
I'll pull it up for you.
Say it in the comments. Let me know
Nick Saban
how long
with
Nick
an
Saban had. But, Khan doesn't fire people during the season. I've said this before. Otherwise,
He'd probably be gone. after the
honestly,
final.
otherwise he fires him after the fucking nightclub thing. To have all this hype in our team, to have all of the wealth of options that Urban had coming in, all of the talk, all of everything, and then you're going to make a spectacle of yourself. That is, and I haven't been on, so I haven't had the time to talk about half of the shit that's been going on with this team, but that to me shows an utter and complete lack of respect for your team, and there's a reason
He
why
was the
your
head
team
coach
doesn't-
for 2 seasons.
Okay, well, fucking, that was the 70s, so this is it's not anymore. And it's the Dolphins, and they make terrible decisions. But the point is that
That was in 2006.
it might as well be the 70s for people who are watching this. But anyway, so my overarching point is that Urban Meyer, I do not believe is an NFL coach. I do not believe he has what it takes to be an NFL coach, because I don't believe he has what it takes to be a coach. He's a CEO.
So who did you want besides Urban Meyer?
I mean,
Be enemy. Be enemy.
Yeah, but see this. Okay, this is always the question that gets asked, and that's a fucking stupid question. And I'm not saying that
my
you're
bad,
stupid,
bro.
Matt. I'm not saying you're stupid, Matt. I'm saying that question gets off so much. Well, who would you want? I don't give a fucking shit. Like, honestly, honestly, I'd probably rather still have Marone.
Yeah.
Because the guys
I
fucking
literally said that
played
today.
for Marone. They played for him. Even though he had kind of a slothy demeanor, and he wasn't a shouter, and he wasn't this and that and the other, those guys played for him because he was a player. They knew he could understand them on certain levels, and they would go out and they would play for him. No one's going to go out and play for Urban, because Urban has a long checkered history of being a recruiter. That's what he does. Just like Jimbo. Okay.
Yeah.
Jimbo was the heir apparent to Bobby Bowden. It was going to happen, blah, 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 blah. But Jimbo brought in the guys for Bobby to coach. And that's why the second that Bobby Bowden left that program, it went fucking south pretty quick, especially after Jimbo left, because now they can't recruit anybody. That being beside the point, Meyer's just not an NFL coach. I just don't believe he's an NFL coach. Do I think that he should get a year? I mean, he's probably going to get a year. You paid a lot of money for him. And he's going to have the same excuses that Marone had for a couple years, which was, quarterback got hurt, or we just really didn't have this, and I just need this piece. And if I have this piece, then the next thing you know, we're going to get right. He's going to get some time doing that. They've sunk a bunch of money into him. But honestly, I think if they lose that game in London, he's fired. Period. Like I don't mean fired because, like I said, Khan won't do that. But like they're looking at options. They're considering people on his staff.
Hey, hold on. Hey, hold on 1 second because my Zoom crashed, so people can't hear anything. So give it 1 second to catch back up.
Nobody gives a shit what I'm saying, Sam.
So give it 1 second. Let me make sure it caught back up because my Zoom completely crashed.
Let me make sure the beard's good for this big speech.
Whenever we make sure the sound's good, we're going to get into the Bills game. Just give us what you think, and then we'll move on. Okay?
The Bills game?
Yeah, next week.
Whenever
we make sure the sound's good, we're going to get into the Bills game. Just give us what you think. Okay. They can hear now. We're good. We're good.
So you just crashed the whole podcast because I was making so much sense, and that's fine.
No,
that's fine. That's fine. Too much truth.
No, we have
too hot for TV.
No, this is why I have Matt backing up a backup recording because my computer is being insane.
Todd, you know what it is the NFL executives knowing that we're catching on.
They're on to our sports betting schemes.
Right.
They're like, $1 billion industry. We can't have these fucking 12 viewers fucking spreading shit online. That Facebook misinformation shit. Can't have it. Independent fact checkers have reviewed this.
Actually, as of the time, because we're also on Discord, sir, we have 30. So.
See, 30. I was making a joke, but then you paid it off. Like you actually came through with the punchline.
But it's not 12. It's not 12.
I'm pretty sure they doubled. Because, I mean, look at me.
And I think the spread was 18 and a half. So.
Okay. Can we talk about Urban Meyer's spread? In the bar?
Came in Nebraska.
The spread. You ran the old.
Can we talk about why somebody would name their daughter came in Nebraska?
Who would name their son Urban?
The founder of the Urban Dictionary.
If my name was Urban, I would name my first son Rural.
And then
I'm Urban. Then it's my son Rural. It's my daughter fucking
Suburban.
Zone Commercial. It's my retarded niece Industrial Park.
Yeah, his urban middle name gentrification.
Urban gentrification. That's redundant, but
anyways, moving on. Todd, next week, home game against the Bills. Where do you see that going?
42-3.
42-3. I like that confidence. A field goal. I like it.
Yeah. No shutout.
Yeah.
No shutouts in this administration. Urban Meyer don't fucking play no shutout football.
Yeah. At least they got 7 today. That's good.
It's true. Now see that kind of shit, that's where the sports betting's at.
And at least they got 7?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, if you were smart and you want to make a whole bunch of money, you'd look at a game going 38-0 in the fourth quarter and just say, hey, an extra 3 times multiplier that this game ends in a shutout. And then, oops, field goal. Oops, fumble return for a touchdown with 45 seconds left.
I'm sure somewhere in the betting verse, there's that.
It's the plays that no one watches that are the cheese.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Is it Gouda?
Cheese?
Gouda? Swiss?
Smoked? What are we talking about? What?
Cheese.
What?
Nothing. Moving on. Division.
The Bills will win.
Good. And the Jaguars will get a field goal. Actually, one last question. I know this is dragging on. Do the Jaguars need a new offensive line? Because I know some people think they don't.
They need some pieces. They need new pieces. They need everybody on that roster that was drafted from the University of Florida to fucking beat cheeks now. And we need to never draft.
Sounds like a bias.
We need to never draft another one. Okay, cool. You show me a Florida Gator that's played well for Jaguars. There's only one or two left. There's Brian and there's Taylor. And I saw Jawan Taylor get beat 15, 16 times today. And Brian, I mean, dude, Brian couldn't bull rush my grandmother, and she's been dead for fucking 20 years. So, like, I'm just saying, stop drafting. Chris Henderson's not here anymore. Dante Fowler had like 6 sacks because he was rotational. Fucking stop drafting guys from Florida because you think it's gonna sell tickets. That's my point. They draft guys from Florida that are hyped up because they think it'll sell tickets because there's a bunch of retarded, drunk, fat, loser Gator fans in Jacksonville who cannot wait to go and powder the ass.
Attacked.
I mean, like, you know, you're not drunk, but tonight. But like,
says who?
Hey,
yeah, you once again, you obviously didn't listen to week one when I came on here wasted.
I'm not. No, I saw that. That was hilarious.
Oops.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, all the Gator jabbing aside, like, yes, they need offensive line help because they also need to, you know, run James Robinson more. They also need to call better plays. They also need to play to their strengths. They also need better pass protection. They also, and the real thing that happened today when Robinson went out was that they weren't getting good slide protection from Hyde or from insert name, the other guy. They can't pass block. I saw fucking Hyde do his best Andrew Norwell on the flea flicker pirouette, and like Lawrence almost got murdered.
I hate Andrew Norwell so much.
You're down fucking 20 plus with 5 minutes left, and you still have your number 1 draft pick in the game. Like, what in the actual fuck is this team trying to fucking prove? Like, you have lost the game. Put in Beathard. That's the whole reason you got rid of Minshew, was so you'd never have to have this conversation about a backup quarterback coming in and energizing the team. So put in old Beat Hard. His name is literally Beat Hard. So when you're getting beat hard, put in Beat Hard. It's like, it's written down. Anyway.
Got it.
That's my fantasy name, is Life is Short, Beat Hard. Yeah.
I know. Like it.
It's good.
Like it.
McNabb him by the pussy.
All right, guys. The highlight game of the week of the division. Titans, Colts. Now, if any of you are watching on any other platform and you are not in our Facebook group, we have a group. It's a private group on Facebook, but you can join. It's for AFC South fans only. It's called the AFC South Fan Battle. That's how this podcast was started, was from that group. It was once enjoyable. It was a lot of fun. But now all it is Colts and Titans all day long. And occasionally the Jaguar Texan comes in, normally to like self-deprecating humor, which I like, some self-deprecating humor. But the Colts and the Titans.
Shit crazy people like Chris Royal, but go on.
Right. Or homers like that. But that being said, the Titans and the Colts are the ones constantly going at it. And today they played. And I'm not going to lie to you. I was rooting for the Colts today not because, you know, they're in my division. Of course, I don't want them to win. I'd rather both teams lose, but mainly because I'm really tired of the Titans fans in this group. They have a whole lot to say. But
back it up.
But that being said, moving into this game, I don't know who wants to lead off first. Actually,
I'll let Ray go first. He too excited right now. He's too excited.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear about what the Titans.
We've heard a lot of sadness and negativity and disparity. So Ray, since your team is the only one in the division that won this week, why don't you go ahead and kick off us a recap of Titans versus Colts?
Yeah, you know, only team in the division to win. Only the team in the division has a winning record. Only team in the division that has a chance to go to the playoffs. Yada 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 yada.
So
yada yada is right.
But yeah, I mean, you know, it was a tough battle. I said a couple podcasts ago when we were going into the Chiefs, people asked if we were going to beat the Chiefs. I said if we beat the Chiefs, we probably lose to the Colts because that's what the Titans do. They get overhyped, and then they lay an egg the next game. And we ended up beating the Chiefs, kicked the shit out of the Chiefs, and then went to the Colts. We got down early, 14-0. Ryan Tannehill looked a little shaky at the start of the game. I was like, oh, shit, here it goes. And we did like we've done these past couple of games. Hard-nosed football, never give up.
Somebody's calling you out to say you forgot number one in the AFC, bro.
Oh, yeah, we're number one overall in the AFC.
Here come the comments from the group.
That we got clowned on for losing to the Jets, but hey, the Bengals lost to the Jets today. So I gave us the overall number one. Thank you. So, so it was a great game.
No one cares.
I know you don't, but
listen.
At no point did either of the 1-7 teams say, "But the Detroit Lions are 0-8." We just don't do that because we have class. But go ahead.
So,
can I say something about this game though? As a party who watched via the Red Zone Network. Okay, so I didn't watch the whole game. But do you know who I think was the one who won it for the Titans this game?
Who was that?
Hellman's mayonnaise.
Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz, yes, won this game for the Titans.
So let's
in
talk
my
about
opinion.
that. Well, I tell you, who lost the game. And it's the Colts. I always brag about Frank Wright. All right, he called a horrible game. All right. You can't have Carson Wentz throw the damn ball 51 times in the game and not expect Carson Wentz to mess up. All right. You got this stud running back you guys claim you guys have, and you only gave 16 to 17 carries.
We claim we ain't claim nothing. He's number 2 in rushing. We ain't claiming anything.
Then y'all should have played him like that. If you got him, play him, He was decent. So
blame Reverend Reich.
Yeah, so
that's literally what he's doing. It's right fault.
You have Wentz. He's going to mess up eventually. Okay, it's his Wentz. All right. He had one pick coming into this game. He threw two bad picks.
Yeah.
I feel like Tannehill
one was in the end zone. Wasn't the other a pick six?
Yeah. Well,
or was the one in the end zone the pick six?
Pretty much.
It's almost like he woke up as Carson Wentz and went and played football. Like, who the fuck is shocked?
Yeah. So I mean, it was a bad. I mean, to be honest, it was a bad call game. But right, you should have run the damn ball more and not put it so much into Carson Wentz's hands.
Yeah.
Especially
his running back had 16 carries, 74 yards, and 4.4 average. I mean, why?
Yeah, he was good. So and y'all did that the first game. Why don't you give James Robinson? I did that the first game.
No.
Yeah, they did that the first game we played.
He was trying to be.
They were going to run it more too, and they didn't. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm happy for the win. It was a gutty performance. Kevin Byard came with a clutch pick and at the end after he had that PI, which he kind of had to do the PI because he would have probably been a touchdown anyways. Another knock on Wentz too, man. This is the second game where he throws for the PI, underthrows to get the PI instead of really completing the pass. So, great win.
Every professional quarterback does that. Get over it.
Not like him. Not like Wentz. I mean, he's from like Hail Marys for PIs.
Yeah, he's the James Harden of football. We get it.
And it cost him. I mean, you could do it, but you're not going to win. So, I mean, it cost him. So,
no, it didn't cost him. It didn't cost him. It didn't cost him.
It cost him. It cost him.
No.
How many yards did Derrick Henry have today?
You shut his ass down. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like my
you know what? I was going to say
a bunch of shirtless pictures of a grown man with a doo-doo link hanging off the back of his head.
I mean,
I feel like he must not have done well.
Well, and that's what I was going to say is the Colts defense really like showed up, and I thought Jonathan Taylor killed Brian Tannehill on that one sack. I was like,
well, I'll say this. Yes, Derrick Henry was shut down. You shut him down. But what you do about AJ Brown? 155 yards passing. I mean,
he's playing quarterback.
That was some
150 yards catching.
That was lucky. That was lucky.
That was luck. That was luck. Oh,
I mean, his one big touchdown was kind of a blown tackle, but like
we had a.
Well, that was one of our early comments that came in from YouTube. Steven Crocio said the Titans got lucky today.
Yeah, we had a pick and then he fumbled and then they got the ball back and scored a touchdown right after that. That shit was lucky.
So your hope. So it was all lucky.
Yeah, it was luck,
No,
man.
I mean, look, dog, y'all got some.
It's that sports betting.
Suspect calls.
That's what it is.
Y'all got some suspect calls, dog.
No, it was you got a
Suspect
pick.
calls. But anyway,
both teams got some really, really bad calls.
the officiating was horrible.
Yeah, you can't say either team got lucky on.
But I mean,
like
at the end of the day, it went to overtime. Colts, speaking about luck, they got the damn coin flip. Y'all had a chance to win the game, and y'all couldn't. I mean, y'all lost. Y'all lost.
I gotta say, the only thing
Somebody just said his knee was down before the fumble came out.
Yeah, Lewis. Yeah, he got the pick and then he fumbled. Knee was down. They called the ball back to the Titans and he scored on a pass right after the turnover. Well, not a turnover. And he scored on the first pass after that. That shit was luck. That's what tied the game up.
I believe they call that momentum.
Yeah,
I mean, it did shift to the Titans, but I mean,
I gotta interject here, and I gotta say the only thing more intense than a Jaguar commentator hating on his own team is listening to a Titans commentator suck every guy on the roster off. Like there's such a spectrum of like sadness and then like male on male fellatio. Like,
yeah. Well, so you do that when you have good players. You know, you can do that.
I mean, I don't care how good a player is. I ain't sucking.
You know what I'm saying?
So, I mean, like,
you do you, boo. You know, we're not saying we got to be like coach. We got a good coach. You know, I'm sorry, dog. We're winning. I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry. I can't be like y'all.
Man, sit back in your chair. It's gonna be all right. We're gonna get through it. It's a fan battle. We are battling. It's all
I mean,
that was great.
Speaking long term, I'm just going to end it here. You know, I think we're in great position in the AFC. Bills look horrible today. I think we're good. I'm worried about Derrick Henry, to be honest.
Wait. Everybody stop. Repeat that.
He's gimped up. Like he.
No. Go back. Say it again. Say it again. What you started with.
I'm worried about Derrick Henry. I think he's a little gimped up. I think he's a little gimped up.
More about Tannehill.
I think he's a little gimped up.
Ooh.
You know, your terminology is just so easy to pull on. Like he's gimped up. You're worried about him. I mean, it's just so much gay shit going on.
There was a big.
I'm seeing him in a leather mask with his mouth zipped up. Like he's gimped up.
I'm worried about him too. But you know, all in all, it's a good performance. To be honest,
Ray, is Julio on the Titans next year?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what at the end of the season.
He's out of the NFL.
I'm wondering, like, is he hurt or is he hurt?
Him and Vrabel don't like each other.
Is he hurt or is he butthurt?
No, he's not butthurt. He's hurt. He's had a hammy for a while now. It's lingering.
I just always feel like his hammy is always hurting when he's butthurt, and like that's all the same area.
Well, the hamstring actually connected to the taint, which is connected to the vagina.
Yeah, ask Urban Meyer. He knows.
So I feel like we're saving them. We're saving them for the second, the second leg.
Load management. That's what it's called.
Yeah. So I'm not worried about it now. He's like this
saving him up
in December. You know what I'm saying? January playoffs. Yeah. Then his ass is gonna be.
Real quick before we get Josh Senior's comments coming in from the group, Todd.
Yeah.
Chris Jackson said, Todd's commentary is refreshing.
Yeah. And
then he also said, Derrick Henry was visibly hurt, but why did Tennessee still run him 28 times?
Because that sets up our play action. We have to. They won fourth. I think it was like a 4th and 2 or something.
Is play action a new word for like what carries our team?
Load management.
It's called coaching. See, on that 4th and 2, when Ryan Tannehill ran it, we faked it to Derrick Henry and everybody bit. Everybody bit. Even if he's hurt, he's still a decoy. It's people you have to honor, because you never know. So, you have to. That play action is that's our bread and butter. So if he's not playing, nobody's worried about nobody's worried about it. So,
10 years when Derrick Henry's in the wheelchair like Earl Campbell, are you gonna say, hey man, I'm sorry, my team sucks and destroyed your life?
Your team doesn't suck though. Playoff team though.
I mean, you're gonna.
if we were early.
If we were 2-4 and running them like 40 times, I'd be like, yeah, dude, we probably should rest.
Matt, to be fair, you'd have to do that for all the Texans players, but they'd be hypothetical wheelchairs.
Yeah.
I mean, Andre Johnson.
Just because of your organization. So
From prolapsed assholes.
I mean, we only had 2 seasons in the last 10 years, so I guess you're right.
I'm just saying, you have to apologize for everything.
I think it was really ironic that you said you were saving Julio for the second leg. I just want to circle back to Jen Psaki this shit, but we're saving him for the second leg. Do you mean you're saving his second leg? Because hamstring injuries at that age generally don't go well. They don't fucking heal. They just don't. And he got his money, and y'all are fucked.
He's going to get his money and run to the IR.
I don't even think you need him. I don't think you need him. It's win more. I don't think you need him because honestly, I thought that trade was kind of like everybody said, "Oh, you need your number 1 receiver." I just don't think you do. I don't think you do. I mean, the Titans are good. The Titans are good, and they got a good thing going with Henry, and then Tannehill being able to play play action. Tannehill's back there doing his fucking taxes on the play action because everybody's loading up to tackle the bare chested king. But I think Julio, if Julio's not getting 12 targets a game, he's just never going to be who you want him to be. And I just don't think that you guys need a wide receiver with 12 targets. What you need is you need Delaney Walker to put his leg back together and come work and come join the team again, because that's what y'all have been missing, in my opinion. When you guys get to the playoffs and you shit the bed, it's because you don't have a tight end in the red zone, and because they stop Henry, and because Tannehill,
we shall see. Right. All I gotta say is stay tuned.
Oh, good.
Oh, is that hashtag?
And really, y'all do, because y'all aren't going to be in the playoffs, so y'all can just watch it. Stay tuned.
Now, Josh Senior, I can't recall, but leading into the season, were you on the Wentz bandwagon or the Sam Darnold bandwagon?
Oh, we got the receipt.
No, I was Matt Stafford.
Oh, you were Matt Stafford. Okay.
Yeah,
well, that being said, so Chris Jackson last week or the week prior, can't remember, had said that he was finally on the Wentz bandwagon. Are you on the Wentz bandwagon?
Until wheels fall off.
And do you see him there? Do you see him continuing to stay in Indianapolis?
I'm a ride
after today's game.
I'm a ride Wentz his ankles come off.
They already fell off.
Keep saying stuff.
I think he's good. I will say this: he's better than what I thought, but he just can't. You can't, especially when you got a good running game. You just can't expect somebody to throw it 51 times.
No one throws it 50 times. When the trainee throws it 50 times, you guys lose too. When any team the quarterback throws it 50 times, unless you're Dan Fouts, you're not going to win. That's not good load management.
Yeah.
And if you're riding Wentz until his legs falls off, you're not paying attention to load management either. Ayo.
And the only one that can manage a load on this podcast is Todd Clary, because he works
all right. You're damn right. I hold a heavy load. It's true.
But go ahead, Josh Senior. Give us your insight on that game, and where do you see the Colts going from here?
Well, it ain't much insight to give since Ray and Todd did a good job of doing the insight for me. Basically, we had the momentum going up 14-0 until Frank Reich decided to go for it on 4th and 6, and they did not convert. And that would have led to the Titans' first touchdown, and then all the momentum shifted to their end, and that was it. They went on a 21-3 run. That's pretty much what happened. We stopped running the ball. Our stud running back only gets 16 carries, while our quarterback play hero ball, throws a pick six in the enemy's red zone, that could have cost the game. Went down the field, tied the game up, went overtime, hero ball again. You got Pittman double coverage with safety and a corner, and decided to throw the ball in traffic and lose the game.
I will say this about the Colts. I just thought it was one of Harice's just long spills about how the Colts are amazing, but Michael Pittman does actually look like a number one receiver. That dude can play. He's pretty good. So
he had 15 targets in this game. Everybody else had like 2, maybe 4. But he had 15 targets in the game.
And I had to rephrase my words because Todd's on the roll, and I didn't want him to, to burn me. So, and then
I
said I had to rephrase my words because you've been on the roll, and I didn't want you, So.
That's fine.
In the game where we down a receiver, T.Y. goes out because the Titans are dirty.
Or because T.Y. is older and dirt.
Yeah,
man,
or because he's suited up, injury prone. Like, you don't get injured every other play. Come on now, dude. You blow on him, he gets injured. Dog. Come on now.
JJ blow on motherfuckers, huh? That's fine.
Titans are dirty, man. Simmons hit Pittman in the back, almost in the neck area. Try to hurt my boy, man. Y'all some dirty players, man. Y'all got dirty players over there.
If you blow on me, I'll probably sit out a few plays. You know what I'm saying? Shit, try and catch my breath.
But that sums it up, man. Our coach was over aggressive. He wanted to win this game, and it cost him. He put the ball in Wynn's hand, thinking that it's a recipe to win, and it was not. And it cost us a game. Now we got a short week going to play the Jets that upset the Bengals. Not worried, but going forward, we got to win pretty much almost every game to make the playoffs.
I hate to tell you this, but T.Y. Hilton is the J.J. Watt of wide receivers.
That's fine. I take that. I'll take that.
Dude, T.Y. Hilton was drafted before Marvin Harrison. The motherfucker is old. Let it go. Y'all just like having a guy with 2 initials. T.Y. It sounds good. So y'all are like, I have T.Y. all day. What does it stand for? It don't stand for too young. That's for sure.
Well, I'm
just saying. I just came up with that, and that was pretty good.
That was a good one.
Myself a moment for that.
Well, give us one of your receivers then.
Okay. Which one do you want?
Marvin Jones.
Okay. For what do you give us?
Okay.
A 6th-round pick.
Oh, I mean, yes.
Jaguars love 6th round.
That is the going rate for every single Jaguar player on the fucking roster, except for Trevor Lawrence. I understand that, but how dare you, sir? How dare you, sir? How about give us a 5th tight end?
Hey, what about Marvin Jones for Frank Reich? We'll just trade. You get Marvin Jones and Urban Meyer.
Dude, if your last name was Reich, wouldn't you have a son and name him after you, and then have his son name him after him, so it could be the 3rd Reich?
No.
I mean, I'm just saying. And if Frank Reich coaches for 2 other teams, you know that's going to happen.
That's true.
It's fucked up. I think it's fucked up. I don't support that kind of stuff.
That is true. But you know what's crazy? You're the only person. Like, that would never have become a thing, but now it will become a thing because you spoke it into existence. Because you're the only person who's like, oh, that would be really messed up. Because then they would call us the 3rd Reich.
Right.
That's all. That would only come from Todd Clary's brain.
I think it'd be hilarious. And like, they probably spell it different to avoid copyright rules or something like that.
Yeah, I doubt that's copyrighted.
Yeah.
Oh no, only you. Oh my god.
The Turd Reich, they'd call
the turd.
The second half of this game was the Turd Reich, probably.
Yeah, well, yes. I didn't even think. I see. That's what I mean. Only Todd. Good God. But do you guys stick with him? Frank Reich's a good coach. I know you guys like him, but are you guys starting to lose faith in him? You like him more as a GM, though, correct?
I mean, well,
like not GM, but for how he picks in the draft, I should say.
We just extended him in the offseason, so we pretty much gotta keep him at least this year. I still got faith in him. Right now, this game and the Ravens game, I'll just say the rest of that for after the podcast. I don't want to say anything inappropriate.
Well,
far be it for that to happen.
We had a comment come in from Havoc6927 that says the Colts better not sleep on the Jets. And after the Titans played them, we know that that's true, right?
Looks like the Jets might actually have a quarterback.
We're not
for the first time since the '60s, and that one year they had Favre.
Bengals too, man. I didn't see them beating the Bengals. I don't know.
So the
Jaguars almost beat the Bengals.
The Jets are using their backup, correct?
Yeah.
The Bengals are forever the Bengals.
True. This is true.
They'll find a way to lose. But yeah, like, you know, Bengals are not, when your quarterback throws 400 yards, like, you're probably going to win.
How long are they expecting Wilson to be out? Like, will he be back for that game?
Probably until at least he gets his learner's permit.
Or his mom lets him come back.
He's like fucking 12, man. They ought to make him go fucking mow the field for a couple of years before he can play.
What is he out with, though? Ankle injury?
I think it was a PCL, I think.
So he's out for a while.
Pussy came loose.
But I think 2 to 4 weeks, maybe.
Once again, only shit that Todd would think of.
Pussy came loose, man. What happened to him, man? Pussy came loose. It's bad.
Oh, that's what Julio Jones has. He calls it Julio Jones has a hamstring, he calls it, but his pussy came loose. It's a pussy came loose injury.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Somebody said, believe he's out for 2 more weeks. It's a TCL injury, so he will not be in.
Hey, he said that he's coming back. I just looked it up. He's coming back after the Thursday night game. So
okay,
he might not.
Yeah, he might not.
Yeah, they might be like,
There's already, I mean, like the talking heads 10 minutes after that game was over were like, have the Jets found their quarterback? I mean, like, think about the things that the Jets have gone through, and like Wilson, like this whole like about 3 or 4 years ago, NASCAR had like the like round of 12-year-olds that all came in and they were all good, so they made like a thing out of it. And this last couple drafts has been a bunch of baby faces, the Sam Darnolds and the Wilsons and the Mac Jones and all that shit. And Wilson's definitely the low man on that totem pole for sure, as far as talent goes. And I mean, if you're losing football games and you're an awful team, and all of a sudden the backup comes in and wins, and
you go to a place like the Jets, it doesn't help you at all.
I mean, you know.
Well, he was already a liability coming into the season. Not a liability, but his mom was clout. Remember, we had that episode. His mom was clout chasing so hard, making him look bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's already tied with that. And then you play shitty, and you're not like, you know.
But if you
not shitty, but not the best.
Look at Patrick Mahomes, his brother, wife, mom, all clout chase, and
that's horrible.
Nobody cares because
but not as bad as her. She's pretty awful.
Did you not see what his brother did to Sean Taylor's memorial? It was pretty bad.
No, I did not.
Yeah, he danced on it for fucking
that same little goofy dance I posted.
Yeah.
That was at a memorial.
Yeah.
No, he does that dance at every game, a single cheesy.
But he did it on Sean Taylor's memorial the day they revealed it. It was real shitty.
It's probably sports betting.
Yes, you're right. It was 1 to 5 odds that he was going to dance or not dance on it.
I believe there was actually a 4-time multiplier line on the Jets' backup quarterback throwing for 400 plus.
Yeah.
It's like basically the Bitcoin of football.
Well, any more to add before we log off? No, we're all sad. Okay.
Well,
I'm not fucking sad.
Not everybody's sad. But
what's called our Adam Schefter just he said allegedly the Texans and Dolphins had a deal done, but supposedly Watson is settling his cases next week. So the Texans are asking for more from the Dolphins. So.
Oh my God, though! Like, come on, just let the guy go at this point. Like, do you even want him there?
Give him like a 3-year subscription massage envy.
No, I don't want to. That's what they should do. I mean, get him with Robert Kraft. They all know they're good massage bars.
Right. Get him a massage therapist and won't tell on him.
Down there in Juneau, you know.
Get him Antonio Brown's girl.
Right. It's
no white women.
Instagram model.
That's what I want to know from Antonio Brown. Did no white women run into 2021? Because he never specified.
I don't even know what you're saying.
He came out with the no white women 2020. Did that run into 2021?
Oh, that sounds racist.
No, he got mad. He got mad at the white girl and threw candy dicks at her. You don't remember?
I never heard about that.
Somehow I missed that one. I'm sorry.
I missed that too.
I guess I was probably out like living my life or comparing ketchup prices at the.
No, that was my favorite. That was my favorite.
Doing more important things, like
my favorite season of Antonio. My favorite season of Antonio Brown was the throwing candy dicks and bleaching his hair and mustache. Like, I love that season of Antonio Brown.
I think DK Metcalf took over that.
Yeah, he had teal hair today. I found a lot of irony in that.
It was like Seahawk teal.
No, it was pretty teal.
I don't think it came out very well.
It didn't. I know a girl in Jacksonville, if he wants to call her. Her name is Samantha Wernet. She's also a hairstylist.
Oh, that could be your tree topper. A DK Metcalf head on the top. That teal.
Let's do it.
All
right, guys.
Do what?
Matt, who do the Texans play
next week?
I think we have our bye.
Oh, well, at least you won't lose.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Like we said with the Jaguars, they can always lose in the bye week.
Yeah, they'll probably lose on that trade. That'll be like it's talked about that week.
This is the Watson game. It's the Dolphins.
Ew.
Yeah.
That would be amazing if that trade happens and then he starts at the Dolphins and plays you guys.
And he gets suspended. That'd be fantastic.
So my thing would be does Watson have the playbook? Like, would he be able to take the playbook to Miami?
Well, I mean,
not that it would be hard to beat, but
what do you mean? The playbook of the pass protection breaking down and him running for 5 before tearing his ACL and being out for the rest of the year?
Ooh.
That was his Texans playbook.
Oh.
His first season, but go ahead.
It was. You're right. I guess after we burnt the Titans for 37 points, since they don't know how to score 22 points or more, right, Ray?
I think the Jaguars sacked him like 25 times in London that year.
You did.
That was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
No, it wasn't in London. It was at home. It was week 1.
I thought they put the Texans in London that year. Maybe that was
they did, but it wasn't. It was Washington already got hurt. I played them in London.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, guys, we thank you for tuning in to this depressing episode of AFC South Fan Battle.
Should we put out our social media, Sam?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm not done. I'm not done.
I'm trying to go from 7 to 8 followers. Okay.
That's right. I want to double my followers.
I think the spread for your followers is like 8, so you need to be careful because
I'm not going to be spreading any of my followers. That is appropriate and professional.
Anyways, let me go back. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Make sure you check us all out on social media. You can find us on Twitter at AFC SFB. That's for AFC South Fan Battle. As for our commentators, Todd, since you talk the loudest, where should we find you on Twitter?
I feel attacked. It's at Bull City Bandit. It's written right there under my name for the people watching the video.
And for those who are listening, I must say he has the best tweets. I love them.
I generally live tweet the game. So right now it's just me kind of shouting into the abyss, and then Harish responds every once in a while. So
yeah, those are the best though.
Come watch me be sad. It's like the opposite of ASMR.
Yeah. Some people are into that. You should live TikTok it. I bet you'd have like 1 million followers.
No, I'm not big in China.
Oh yeah, you're like TY.
China, okay, it's bad.
You're like T.Y. Hilton's age, so I guess you wouldn't get TikTok. I get it.
Wow. Cool. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm older than T.Y. Hilton, and I'm pretty sure that I injure myself less than him. So
maybe. Matt Briggs, where do we find you on Twitter?
Sadden Texans fan.
So very accurate. Ray Cherry.
R Cherry 76. All platforms.
Speaking of older than me. Got him.
And Josh Senior.
I am Josh Senior on all platforms.
All right, and you can find me, Sammy Football with an I. Make sure you guys tune in next week because we have some exciting news. Correct, Matt?
Correct.
He's looking at me confused, but we have some exciting news.
I guess again because that would be super exciting.
I mean, yes. Come on. come on next week again, Todd. You're more than welcome anytime. That and make sure you check out our sister podcasts, I guess we'll call them. The You Don't Know Jack podcast. That's You Don't Know Jack with a C, not a K. And the Texans fan battle. And we are looking to expand. So any Titans or Jaguars who would like to have a show, we're looking for Titans fan battle and Jaguars fan battle. And
doesn't Jack normally have a C and a K?
It does, but it's Chris Jackson's podcast.
There's a C and a K in Jackson. Is it JACC like thick?
It's Josh, Austin, and Chris. So
it's You Don't Know Jack, JAC.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you don't know Josh, Austin, and Chris is what.
Yep. You don't know Josh.
Right.
Goddamn right.
That's right.
Well, I'm ready. I'm ready if anybody wants to be my counterpart and go back and forth with me about the Jaguars and cry and bitch and rant. Because
I mean, until you find somebody, I'm sure that people would love to just listen to you talk to yourself.
Yeah, but see, like that's weird. Like I need somebody else. I'm like Joe Rogan. I need my Jamie. You know what I mean? Like I need somebody to look shit up and like make sure that I'm not wrong. Because when I start to like just shoot off the cuff, I need to be like, actually,
who was Howard Stern's producer?
I don't know.
See, that's what we need. Somebody like her.
Sure.
Sam
I'll have to research that now.
I could do that for you.
I'd have to have my person look that up so that I could then find that person.
I can do that for you.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in this evening. Make sure you check us out next week, and we will see you then.
Oh, yes.
That's
As usual, Texas Titans and Colts suck.